viral. Over the weekend, Baker Mayfield held a youth football camp. He was having a blast doing it. Baker also got on the field, showed off his safety skills, intercepting this pass right here.
Oh.
It's not hard to do when you're playing children. Juking all the kids, making them chase him around. Twitter user Jackson asked Baker, if they all flipped and attacked you, how many could you take? Baker replied, which age group? As a general thought, I say at least 50 plus. Then Tom Brady said, you're selling yourself short, my friend. Got to escape the pocket, reset, take out 8 to 10 at a time.
I was going to ask Chris if he ever did youth football camps, but I actually think there's a better question for Jenna Wolf, because Jenna has excellent experience of taking children's activities and playing with them. You go to your local park in New York City, you might see Jenna Wolf doing some jumping jacks, doing some chin-ups, using the using some kids, get out of here.
Yesterday,
I'm working out.
I went to the playground with my child, and 2 of her friends said, come over and show us, hang for us. And I said, no, honeys, this is your playground. Because I channeled my inner Nick Wright.
Well, you're learning. I'm glad you're learning, but the question I have is those kids that you tell to shoo off the monkey bars, how many could you take out?
Easily 12 to 14.
12 to 14?
Easily 12 to 14 kids. I'm happy to be very good at this little drill right here where you have to, they all have to escape.
I ain't worried about the kids, though. We got a new makeup artist. Man, she played basketball on scholarship. She said she the best athlete on the first floor in this building.
Oh,
that's what she said in the last break.
Oh.
Yes.
New makeup artist.
She said she watched a couple videos of Jenna Wolf. She said, I will
Not in earshot. It was not in earshot when she said that, because it would have been a conversation.
Oh, okay. The one who kicked the door open? The one,
the one that almost took me out?
Yeah.
That Bridget?
Yes.
Our backup stage director already beat you in a race once.
I was in a dress
and now Bridget's saying she's gonna give you them buckets.
I'm putting something on Instagram
today.
You them
buckets, Jenna. You
check out the gram, Nick.
Dominating 6-year-olds.
Time for stories. It's karate. Time for stories to start your morning. Free agent defensive tackle Gerald McCoy signed a 1-year deal with the Panthers. McCoy starred in my favorite show, Hard Knocks, in 2017. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Spent the last 9 seasons with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think, CC? You think Gerald McCoy makes an impact, a big impact?
How about this, Jenna? Just got off the phone with defensive coordinator Eric Washington, and they are thrilled. They thought they were going to lose him potentially to Cleveland. He fell in love with their facility. They believe they have the best interior, especially defensive front, in the NFL. They believe they're going to get back to playing dominant football, Cam Newton being healthy, and they got to create some turnovers with that secondary. It starts up front. So he's very excited about, man, looking at Carolina. They're an every other year team. Watch for them to be back this year.
Dontari Poe, K1 Short. We know the linebackers led by Kuechly if he can stay healthy. Now you have Gerald McCoy, one of the most underrated players in the league. You know how much I like Eric Washington. I talked to him at was it the Super Bowl a couple years ago? I don't remember where we were, but I remember
All-Star baseball game.
That's right, the baseball All-Star game. That's right, last year.
I remember that.
And so listen, you said earlier, every year there's at least 5 teams. They go from out of the playoffs to in the playoffs. I believe Carolina is going to be one of them, thanks to the defensive upgrades and Cam Newton getting healthy.
And Jenna, you'll like this. Not a problem. Great locker room guy.
She
great
knows that.
leader. Very consistent. Family guy.
Love this guy. To the NBA now, according to reports, Kawhi Leonard is being slowed down by a knee issue, which stems from him overcompensating for a quad injury. The same right quad injury that forced him to miss all but 9 games last year in San Antonio. See, even though he may not be 100%, does Toronto need even more from Kawhi moving forward?
Well, it's hard to do more, and a lot of times when you're in competitive situations like this, when you try to do more, it forces you into making mistakes. They need Kawhi to try to be a little more efficient. When they double team him, can he be more aggressive instead of backing off the double team? Can he split it and get on the offensive attack? But it's about getting his other players involved with his playmaking ability and cut down his turnovers. I don't believe he's going to shoot 58% like he did the first 3 rounds. But if he can get back to shooting 50% from the field, 40% from the 3-point line, Toronto is going to win this series.
If he can get to 50-40 the rest of the way, I would agree with you. Right now, I think, man, it's the finals. I think he'd take 45-35 the rest of the way. I think, listen, Steph and Kawhi, both given the injuries for the Warriors, the inconsistency of the Raptors supporting cast, both teams need their best player, their star player, to step up huge in Game 3. The Raptors because it's on the road and you don't want to all of a sudden fall down 2-1. The Warriors because they're down so many people. Those two guys combined to be 1 of 6 in the fourth quarter of game 2.
Do you think whichever one of those players and their team wins becomes the favorite for the MVP moving forward?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Game 3, first swing game of the NBA Finals.
All right, so with all the injury talk surrounding Golden State, Steph Curry has quietly led this team through the start of the series. As the Warriors head back to Oracle for Game 3, Steph is the heavy betting favorite to win MVP, with Kawhi and Draymond having the next best odds. Nick, has Curry been the most valuable player through 2 games?
Through 2 games, it's very, very close. I would give it to Draymond. I thought Draymond was sensational in Game 2, and you are going to weight more heavily a game your team won. And so Kawhi was good, but not great in Game 1. That's the game Toronto won. Steph was very good in Game 1, but his team lost. So I would give it to Draymond as of this moment. But if the Warriors are going to win the series, it's hard for me to see a scenario of them winning the series without Steph being great the rest of the way.
I know Jenna's into it. Steph would be the sexier choice. And she likes the name. Her partner's name is...
I didn't understand what was happening.
We got it. Yeah, Jenna, you like Steph.
But,
came back in.
But right now, Draymond has played better. He was very good in game number 1. Then he isolated himself on, I'm going to slow down Siakam in game number 2. He was very special in that game. To me, Draymond Green, Steph's right on his heels, though.
All right, let's move on and talk about the Lakers.
Rejoin us.
A disastrous season behind them. They're hoping to turn things around this off-season with speculation swirling over who could possibly join LeBron James as his number 2, even his 1A this coming year. According to a column in Bleacher Report, Anthony Davis would be the best possible target, with Kyrie and Kemba coming in at 2 and 3. All right, Nick, who's a more ideal teammate for LeBron, AD or Kyrie Irving?
I think Anthony Davis is the best option for the Lakers. I think Kyrie is the best option for LeBron.
For LeBron.
Because there are 2 different timelines we're talking about here. Who do I believe is more likely to still be an elite NBA player 5 years from now, 6 years from now, maybe 8 years from now? Anthony Davis. Who do I know next year you could plug into the NBA, Western Conference Finals, NBA Finals, however far you get, and the moment will not be too big for him, that his game will match up with LeBron perfectly? Kyrie Irving. And so these are, I think Anthony Davis is a better, if you were building a team starting from scratch, you could have either one. I don't think there's a team in the league that would take Kyrie over Anthony Davis because you're thinking about long term. But we haven't seen Anthony Davis in really any high leverage situations in his career, only been past the first round once, has 5 playoff wins, not series wins, playoff wins in his career. We've never seen Anthony Davis at any level of basketball not be, maybe that 1 year at Kentucky, maybe, but not be the focal point of his team. That year at Kentucky, he was the best player, but he was more of a defensive force. I don't know how that fits with LeBron. I think it fits well. I'm not worried about how it would fit, but I know Kyrie fits perfectly. So for the very specific question of who's the best option to play with LeBron, I'd go with the guy that I know it works, Kyrie.
I totally disagree with you. I don't believe it to be Anthony Davis because also the compensation. I'm going to lose a lot of my roster and a lot of these young players. So it's not only can he be able to play in 3, 5 years. I don't believe there's a future. I don't think there's a team that says, what am I going to be like in 5 to 8 years? So I just go back to reality. It's typically like 1 to 3, and if you extend that, it's about 3 or 4 years. That's like the life right now.
And that's the length of an NBA contract.
So for me, it would be Klay. Klay Thompson would be the best fit for LeBron James.
More than Anthony Davis or Kyrie. More than
because of the roster with AD first, and you have to trade for him. All right, Klay, you don't have to do that. Also, you're getting Klay from Golden State. So now I got another team in the West that I'm immediately better than them. Right from free agency. I just believe from a defensive standpoint, if Klay misses Wednesday's game, would that be the first playoff game he missed in his career?
Yeah.
And how many?
120 of 120.
Okay. Klay is a basketball junkie. I believe in 5 years, Klay is still shooting jump shots right in your face. Defensively, it's going to take the burden off LeBron. And I don't believe LeBron is going to do what he's got to do as he gets older, and that's going to the post a little more. I believe LeBron is going to dominate. As he gets older, he's going to dominate the basketball more, dribble the basketball more, and he's going to need someone to be able to run off screens so he can be a playmaker. And if that is not Klay Thompson, I don't know what I've been watching in the NFL. Klay Thompson is the best pure fit for the Lakers and LeBron James.
I also think we just dismiss it as a gimme that Kyrie wants to go back and play with LeBron again. I know he did it, but I don't think he's a perfect fit. It worked out for a little bit and then didn't work out. And I think it would be Kyrie.
It always worked out on the court. It never didn't work out on the court.
Well, it didn't work out on the court when he left the court that LeBron was playing on.
Oh, you mean when LeBron went to the bench and how well the team... Listen.
No, I mean when Kawhi left Cleveland.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Listen.
Because of Kyrie's wanting.
Kyrie left Cleveland because he wanted to go venture out on his own. And if he enjoys that...
And he realized the world wasn't flat.
Right. And now if he enjoys that, he doesn't have to stay in Boston to stay with that. He can go to Brooklyn. Kyrie can go to Brooklyn and get everything he wanted in Boston that didn't work out for him and do it in New York, and that might be what he opts to do. But on the court, we know LeBron and Kyrie work. I do think Klay would fit perfectly as well. And the defense part of Klay is a huge one. I wasn't even baking in the undercutting the Warriors. If we're going to add that...
Yeah, that was a little sneaky pool.
Okay, yeah. That was, I mean, if we're going to add the math of you're going to under... The Warriors going to lose KD.
Yeah, that's why I don't do the production meetings and everything. I'll let y'all do the talking.
But let me ask you real quick. Of those top two, of the two guys Jenna initially asked about, Anthony Davis or Kyrie, if you could pick one...
I got to go with AD. Man.
That's what I thought.
I got to go because there is no answer for him in the West. There's an answer for Kyrie. His name's Steph Curry.
All right, take a break. Coming up, could Klay's injury derail the Warriors' title hopes? That's next on First Things First.
Yeah, you see how I did that? See, but I didn't embarrass you until you